Stop buying random syrups for your cocktails. It's so easy to make your own at home. Let me show you how. What's up, home bartenders? This is part 2 of our essential cocktail syrups. In part 1, I showed you how to make 12 awesome essential cocktail syrups. This is part 2. We're gonna make 12 more. All right, let's do it. We're starting off with gum syrup, basically simple syrup, but with a nice velvety texture. So 2 tablespoons of gum arabic powder. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of hot water to that, and then we're gonna mix it together. It's gonna be pretty sticky at first, but eventually does mix. And then we need to let it sit for 4 hours. That's gonna fully incorporate the gum arabic. After that, we wanna make a rich, simple syrup. So 1 cup of white sugar to 1/2 cup of hot water. Give that a mixy mix until everything is combined. And then we're going to mix it with our gum arabic mixture. And there it is, your gum syrup. That should last you about a month in the fridge. Bottle it up, and you're good to go with gum syrup. Up next, we're making passion fruit. And I like to use fresh and juice because the fresh passion fruits are pretty expensive. So I have 4 passion fruits that I'm taking the pulp out of. And then I'm gonna add a cup of passion fruit juice or nectar or whatever you have. It's thickened juice, basically. To that, we're adding 1.5 cups of white sugar. You want a good amount of sugar because passion fruits are pretty tart. And then we're just gonna give that a good mix. Mixy mix until it just starts to boil, and then we can remove from the heat and let it cool completely before we strain out those seeds and bottle it and keep in the fridge for about 2 weeks. All right, up next, we've got pineapple syrup. Okay, now don't forget to remove all those fronds. Keep those in the freezer. Those make great garnishes for tiki drinks. And then chop up your pineapple. We need about 2 cups of pineapple. So we're making 1 cup of water, all your pineapple goes in, and then we're gonna add our sugar, about 1.5 cups. I don't measure a lot of these. A lot of this is very forgiving if you don't use the correct measurements. And we're just gonna let that simmer until the pineapple gets nice and soft. Try to use ripe pineapple. Mine was a little underripe, but it still made a very nice syrup. But yeah, just let that go until it's nice and smooth, and then we can use our potato masher to mash up the pineapple chunks. And then as always, when it's ready, we will remove from the heat and bottle it when it's cooled completely. Refrigerate for 2 weeks. There it is. Beautiful pineapple syrup. Up next, we've got cranberry syrup. Love to make this one at Christmas time. This is basically like cranberry sauce, the kind you serve at Thanksgiving or Christmas, but less thick, obviously, because we're making cocktails with it, not putting it on turkey. So water, sugar, and cranberries. And then we're gonna add a cinnamon stick and 1 peel of orange. That's enough to flavor it. All right, make sure that the sugar dissolves, and we're gonna let it simmer until the cranberries have popped and released all their juices. Okay, bring out the potato masher again and make sure you pop all those cranberries. Beautiful. It'll start to foam a little bit as it starts to boil. There we go. We're gonna give it a quick taste. Make sure that the flavor is on par. You can always add a little bit of sugar or whatever you want. And then when we're happy with the flavor, take it off the heat. Let it cool completely and then bottle it and keep it refrigerated for up to 3 weeks. By the way, all these shelf lives, these are the safe recommended shelf lives. A lot of these syrups will last significantly longer. So you just have to watch out. Up next, we've got mint syrup. We want to start by making a rich syrup or a semi-rich syrup. So sugar and water in a pot and get that nice and dissolved. We want to do this before putting the mint in because mint is very delicate. You don't want to overboil it. It'll get bitter. So we just get that syrup going first. And then we can turn off the heat. And then we can dump about 1 to 2 cups of mint. Give that a quick stir, and then we're going to take it off the heat and let it cool completely. And while it cools, it will infuse its amazing flavor. And then we're going to strain out those leaves and refrigerate this for about 2 weeks. Like I said, it could go longer, but this one did go bad on me pretty quickly. If you want to last longer, make creme de menthe liqueur. I have a recipe. Cola syrup. So So this is basically a cheater cola syrup because we're just reducing Coca-Cola, adding sugar to it. Some people might say, well, why are you doing that? Well, this is a cocktail syrup. So if you want like an old fashioned that has a hint of Coca-Cola flavor to it, you use a cola syrup because it's concentrated cola flavor. So that's what we're doing. So you could just do Coke and sugar, but I'm going to add an orange peel and half a cinnamon stick just to bump up those flavors, but that is totally optional. And we just want to reduce this a little bit, so it's going to boil off a little bit of excess water. That sugar is going to dissolve, and it's going to concentrate that cola flavor. You can remove the peel and the cinnamon stick after a little while so that it doesn't infuse too much flavor. And then when you're happy with it, off the heat, cool it, and bottle it. And then you can make an awesome rum and Coke old fashioned. Yeah, try that one. It's awesome, especially if you carbonate it. Spiced apple syrup. This is great in the fall. All right, so we want a cup of apple cider. That's cloudy apple juice, not the alcoholic type of cider, if you couldn't tell from the giant jug. We then want a cup of white sugar. I mean, that alone is a great apple syrup right there. But this is spiced apple syrup, so we're going to add a cinnamon stick. We're going to add 1 star anise. We've got a little bit of grated nutmeg. We're going to do a peel of orange, and optionally, if you want, you could do some ginger and some clove. I'm not a huge fan of clove, so not doing that. All right, just make sure that sugar gets dissolved. We're going to bring this up to a boil. We don't need it to simmer too long. And then we're going to take it off the heat. Optionally, you can remove some of those spices so that they stop infusing after a while, especially the star anise. Don't want too much of that. Okay, when it's cool, bottle it up and refrigerate for up to 3 weeks. I've kept it significantly longer than that, but safely for up to 3 weeks. Hibiscus syrup. All right, this one's really good. I'm not a huge fan of floral stuff, but this one is really good. So, cup of water, cup of sugar. Get that dissolved. And then we want about half a cup of dried hibiscus leaves or flowers. Are they leaves or flowers? I don't actually know. But yeah, half a cup of hibiscus. Sometimes it'll be labeled hibiscus tea. It's the same thing, as long as it doesn't include other stuff and it's just 100% hibiscus. All right, get that all combined, get it to a simmer, but we don't need it to boil too long because it is delicate. Anything floral is delicate. Half a teaspoon of lemon juice is going to just brighten up the flavor here. All right, get that off the heat, let it cool completely, bottle it. Look at that beautiful color. Bottle it and refrigerate for up to a month. There we go, beautiful hibiscus. Sticking with the floral theme, we've got lavender syrup. Now, if you don't overdo the lavender here, it won't taste like soap. If you overdo the lavender, you're in soap territory. So same as the last one, we're starting with our simple syrup, 1 cup sugar, 1 cup water. And then we're gonna do, honestly, recipes all over the place on the web on this, anywhere from 1 teaspoon to like 5 tablespoons. I went with about a tablespoon, maybe a little more. But you don't want too much, because like I said, if you overdo it, you're in soap territory. I also decided to add a little bit of just light purple coloring gel, just a tiny amount, just to give it that purple hue. I don't want it to look like grape juice, but just a tiny amount. We also add a little bit of lemon juice just for freshness. Bottle it up. There it is, lavender syrup. Okay, banana syrup is next. So about 2 ripe bananas, chop them up in a bowl, and then we're adding 1 cup of any kind of brown sugar. I use Demerara, but whatever you have. And just stir that around, let it sit for about 2 hours. And that's gonna extract a lot of juice. Look at that, look at all that juice coming right out of the bananas. Amazing. Okay, then on to the stove, and we're gonna add about a half a cup of water. We don't need this to boil. We're just gonna slowly bring it up to temp and add a pinch of salt. Tiny bit of vanilla extract. And as soon as it's hot, you start to see wisps of smoke. Cut the heat and get it off. You don't need this to boil at all. Okay, so I'm starting to see little wisps of smoke. There we go. All right, let it cool completely, then bottle it up, strain out the banana pieces, and store for 2 weeks. Or you can make banana liqueur and keep it forever. chocolate syrup. Okay, this is basically the same thing you kind of, you put on your ice cream, but it's going to be thinner because this is for cocktails. So yeah, don't come in the comments saying that chocolate syrup is too thin. It's made to be thin. You want a thinner ice cream worthy syrup, just put less water. But essentially we got some sugar, some cocoa powder mixed together. We're adding water to that, and we're going to slowly heat it up, and we're going to whisk like crazy because that cocoa powder does not like to mix with the water. But just go nuts. Eventually it darkens. It eventually mixes in with the water. Pinch of salt, little splash of vanilla, just like we did with the banana syrup. And we're going to keep going. Taste it, because if it still tastes chalky and powdery, it just needs to cook a little longer. Okay. But once it tastes like delicious chocolate, you're good to go. Keep it in the fridge for up to a month. Chocolate syrup. Our last one for today, we've got spicy chili syrup. Now, I was going to use fresh chilies, but they went bad on me. And then I found I had these dried ancho chilies. So dried or fresh, both will work, but they will yield a very different flavor. And I'm not going to tell you how much chilies to put in because it really depends on which ones you're using. You're using habanero, don't put a lot. But these anchos are not very spicy. So I've got a fairly large ancho chili that I put in there. I've got some water and sugar, making a basic simple syrup, and we're letting that flavor infuse. Now the flavor is phenomenal. It's raisiny, it's almost chocolatey, but it's not very spicy. So I added a few chili flakes just to up the spice factor, because this is a chili syrup. I want it to be spicy. So yeah, and then when you're happy with it, great, get it off the heat. And we're gonna, same process. We're gonna bottle it, strain it, refrigerate for up to a month. Well, there it is, guys. We made 12 more cocktail syrups that you can easily make at home. Combined with part 1, that makes 24 syrups, but we actually have more than that because I have a few syrup recipes that didn't quite make the long form format, and I've got those in my shorts series. So make sure you check out these Syrups 101. There's a few extra syrups there. If you missed part 1 of Essential Cocktail Syrups, you can check out this video right here. Otherwise, if you want to know all sorts of cocktails that you can make with your syrups, make sure you check out this playlist right here. Otherwise, I usually have a drink at this point to finish the video with. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.